Hello all, welcome to Direct Tax 2, fourth semester paper for BCom of Mangalore University. And in this particular semester, in this course Direct Tax 2, we are going to discuss 5 units. In the last semester, we had studied one head of income, that is income from salary. In this particular semester, over a period of 48 sessions, we are going to discuss the remaining 4 heads of income along with another very important concept called depreciation under section 32. Let's begin with our first unit. The first unit, we are going to discuss about income from house property, the second head of income. And in this session 1, we are going to cover the topic Introduction to House Property Income and Meaning of Annual Value. Now, what is this house property income? Now, there are certain conditions that an SSC has to fulfill to treat an income taxable under the head income from house property. Which are those conditions? Let's look at it one by one. There should be a property consisting of any building and land appurtenant thereto. Meaning to say, there must be a property. When I say property, and if it has to be taxable under the head house property, then it has to have 4 walls and a roof. It is very, very important. Remember this. So 4 walls and a roof is very important to treat an income derived therefrom as income under the head house property. Consisting of any building and land appurtenant thereto. Meaning to say, along with the building, if there is a land attached to, annexed to, associated with, along with it, then such income can be treated as income from house property. Second very, very important criteria is the taxpayer should be the owner of the property. I own a property and I rent out that property. Whatever income that I derive is taxable under the head house property because I am the owner of the property. But if I have given my property on rent to a tenant, and if the tenant is letting out that property, income derived by the tenant cannot be taken as house property income because he is not the owner of the house property. So very important point, only in the hands of the owner that income derived from house property can be treated as taxable income from house property. So taxpayer should be the owner of the property. Third important aspect is the property shouldn't be used by the owner for the purpose of any business or profession carried on by him. For example, I am a doctor. I own a house where I stay along with my family. Apart from this particular property, I have another property which I am using it for my clinic, for practicing my profession, medical profession. And any income that I am deriving therefrom cannot be treated as house property income. Rather, the income that I derived from such a property will be taken as my profession income. So it's very, very important that if I am the owner of the property, I cannot use that property for the purpose of my business or for the purpose of my profession, because at that time, that income will lose the quality of house property income. And very, very important aspect, taxable income under the head house property is always on the basis of annual value. Now, how do you arrive at annual value? That is what we are going to discuss. So let's look at the condition. Building and land appurtenant thereto. Taxpayer should be the owner of the property. The property shouldn't be used by the owner for the purpose of his own business or profession. And very important, taxable income under the head house property is always on the basis of its annual value. Now, how do we get to know or calculate the annual value? Let's understand this particular concept. Annual value doesn't always mean rental value. It doesn't always mean rental value. That means whatever rent the tenant is paying, that value need not be the annual value all the time. Why is that so? We will see that. Now we say it includes the sum for which the building might reasonably be expected to let from year to year. So let's take example. I own a house property which I have given it on rent. Suppose I have given it on rent of around say 12,000 per month. A similar house in the locality, similar house, maybe the furnishing is same, the roofing is same, the area is same. So all the facilities that are available inside the house is all same. But that house is let out at 15,000 rupees. I have let it out at 12,000 rupees. That means there is a slight mismatch. That might be, I might have given it at a comparatively lesser rent. So what annual value says, the sum for which the building might reasonably be expected to let, not necessarily at what rent you have let out at, reasonably be expected to let from year to year. Now, how do you arrive at annual value? Section 23 of the Income Tax Act gives the meaning, a definition of annual value. Annual value shall be the sum for which the property might reasonably be expected to let from year to year. So I might have let out my house property at a certain rent per month. But then sometimes it so happens that there is a lot of demand in my area. And suppose instead of letting it out at 12,000 rupees, I am letting it out at 18,000 rupees a month. So where the property is let out and the actual rent receivable is more than. So reasonably expected to let, maybe let's keep it at say 12,000 or 15,000 rupees. But since there is a demand in my area, I am letting out that property say at 18,000, more than the value referred to in point A. So 18,000 per month is the rent that I am going to receive or receivable. Point C, very, very important. If the property is let out, but during the year it was vacant for certain period, maybe 1 month or maybe 2 months or 3 months. And due to such vacancy, I was looking out for a tenant, but then I could not find one. And the property remained vacant for a certain period of time. The period may either be 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, as the case may be. And due to such vacancy, the actual rent received is less than the sum referred to in point A, that is expected rent, reasonably be expected rent. If I get a rent lesser than as mentioned in point A due to vacancy, because I could not locate any tenant, and because of that reason, the house remained vacant for a few months. And due to such vacancy, the actual rent received is less than the sum referred to in point A, then the amount so received or receivable will be taken as annual value. So, thank you.